Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back to Scenes Memories of Starry Sky. My name is MSPunker1, and last video we finally figured out actually what Azusa's key is for. It took a bit of searching and looking at a certain puzzle or so again, but we actually managed to find another key, or key acting thing, that opened up another hidden place, or at least showed another hidden place. And then Azusa tried her key on that place, and it opened up what appears to be a hidden cellar or basement. And now we are gonna go down there and see what it is. If they will stop talking about who is going to down and just go down. Shea was as you expect. Well, Azusa, well, if we left her be, she would likely head off without us. Alright, I'll lead the way. Be sure to follow me from safe distance, okay?
わかった。純也がそう言うなら、純也の言う通りにする。
Seriously, please do. In all kinds of ways. What does he mean by that? Ah, come on. The video had to go to its max length right when it did. It couldn't have ended here instead, so we start a new chapter. Hup. Something tells me we found it. It was a surprisingly large and fully illuminated room at the base of the stairs. It was a little dusty, but I didn't smell. I think it's we couldn't or didn't smell anything out of the ordinary. That immediately triggered headaches or otherwise. I could breathe comfortably, so it seemed safe.
ねえ、天井、見て。
Oh. For a basement, it also had a surprisingly high ceiling. An entry of which was the entirety of which was painted a dark blue. Upon it were drawn innumerable stars. I think we found your starry sky, Azusa.
星空の部屋。
Her eyes. Azusa's voice quivered as she gazed at the ceiling overhead.
ここだったんだ。私、ここを見たことがあったんだ。
Azusa and I had a discussion about the attic most likely being the starry sky room from her memory, but this is the real one. A place Takaya had been searching for, and the word quest I thought I had taken over, but hadn't been over yet.
思い出の場所はここだったのね。よかった。
Oh, that means the other point mentioned in your grandfather's letter meant I hope that you two will track down your key and reach the starry sky together.
そっか。共にたどり着くよう願っているっておじいさまが書かれてた星空ってこの部屋を指してたってこと？
You track down keys and reach this place together. I don't think there's any mistaking it this time. If I had been satisfied with the attic alone and washed my hands on this job, I would have wound up abandoning Takaya's search midway through. Thank goodness we made it this far. Thank goodness.
まったくもうおじいさまも意地悪ね。こんな素敵な部屋をいつの間にか作ってたなんて。
If Azusa remembers it, then it must have been built when you were kids.
そうなるのかな。でもそれがどうかした？
She had unsurprisingly left her stuffed animal with Nata. Azusa was so emotional, overwhelmed that Shaya was now hugging her to calm her down. Well, still a bunny. She had certainly taken to her new role as Azusa's big sister awfully quickly, hadn't she? Actually, I was almost under the impression he deliberately built this to hide something. I looked around the room when I made that comment to Shaya. I was surrounded by walls and should have had the old state perched overhead. What's more, the entrance was incredibly narrow. Once you actually made it into the room, though, the space was both exponentially tall and wide, so you didn't really get that oppressive feeling that you were in a basement. The grandfather likely instructed whoever constructed the space to make sure nobody who came in here would feel claustrophobic. If so, that was very considerate of him. I wonder if this was originally built to be a place for you two to play. That's the impression I get anyway. I doubt that he would draw a starry sky in a place designed solely to hide an inheritance or otherwise, especially considering that he had that the girl he abandoned as her especially considering that he had let the girl he adored, okay, as her his granddaughter Azusa come down here when she was little.
鍵の隠し方もそうね。
Shaya surveyed the space as she spoke, seeming to have taken notice of something.
パズルだって私たちを楽しませるためだけの仕掛けだったのかも。
And yet, if he had used this place to hide something, I questioned what was going on at the time for him to go to such extremes. I took another look up at the ceiling. where the stars drawn here to fully express how much he loved his grandchildren. Maybe there are the specific constellations. I think I can see the Leo, the lion. But that's the only one I recognize. I'm bad at seeing the star signs and even stars like that. But one of that is more or less in the center. It looks like it could be a lion. The other ones I don't know.
ねえ、部屋の隅に何か置いてある。
Since I had wandered further into the room to investigate, but not without Shaya clinging to her. I followed her line of sight and noticed several chests and cardboard boxes casually stacked in the corner. Maybe it's whatever Kido was huffing and puffing about. We rambled on increasingly about an inheritance or evidence or whatever, hadn't he? Aren't you more or less saying that out loud now, right? And Azusa's here hearing you. So... For Shaya and Azusa, well, each room itself was what they had been after. His space was more than enough inheritance for them. So then, what was that? I looked closely and there were unfamiliar characters written on the surface of a box. Chinese?
Chunyu-san, 呼ぶ?
Don't tell me it is the cups. It's the sake cups. Good idea. Can you ask her? I'll check what's inside in the meantime.
チュンユーさん、ちょっと降りてきてもらえますか?
Shaya nodded and shouted upstairs. Meanwhile, I grabbed the nearby box and opened its lid. Inside was stuffed with bulky folders, like the sort you would see lined up on shelves in offices or universities to better organize your documents.
よいしょっと。おお、なかなかにおしゃれな空間じゃないですか。それで、うちだけを呼ぶなんてどうしました?
It's this. Can you read what it says? If Shunyu added to the mix, I showed her the cardboard box and the series of folders nestled inside.
ん? あれ? 向こうでよくお世話になった配送業者の箱ですね。
The fact Shunyu's voice transitioned from surprise to suspicion seemed to mean she got a bad feeling about this herself.
中身、何ですか?
The first thing was that jumped out at us when we opened up the file folder I'd taken out before was an extensive list of numerical figures. They seem to be ledgers. An income and expenditures report. to be specific. There were droves of headers like political activity costs and contributions. The print job was rough. Were these copies rather than originals? Almost like it had been necessary to secretly copy and return the originals to where they had come from, so nobody would notice. For instance,
これおじいさまの匂いがしますね。
the smell? I asked Shunu as she looked over the file in her hand. When her usual bright and sunny disposition faded and was replaced with a stern look.
物の例えです。使われている箱や資料の整え方にうちのおじいさまが手配りしたんじゃないかなと思われる節がありますね。 千早のおじいさまが残した部屋なんですから、うちのおじいさまが送ったものがあってもおかしくはありません。もちろん箱だけ再利用して中身は別物ということも考えられますけど。
Regardless of whoever had actually prepared these mysterious documents, I couldn't help but to wonder how probable it was that these were prepared under Shunya's grandfather's orders. Also, the one who managed and stored these, or rather, the one who deliberately hid and addressed these documents to grandchildren was Shehaya's grandfather. In some confusion, I glazed over the cover and read the title. Investigative report on Representative Tadayasu Hojo's questionable accounting practices. There was an accompanying ledger in the first folder, and I checked. I was no expert, so I had no idea what part of it was how peculiar right away, but I noticed an envelope in between two of the folders. Wait, I must see something here. The investigative report on Representative Tadayasu Hojo's questionable accounting practices. So in a way, Kida was right, but the evidence that he the evidence he was after in this case was for the wrong person. He thought he would be evidence for some shady things according to the current Hojo head or whatever you should call it. So Shaya's dad, but it actually was evidence of some shady things the grandfather was doing. I noticed an envelope in between two of the folders. I recognized it the moment I saw it. It was the same sort of envelope Shaya's grandfather used for the letter we found in the attic. Upon closer inspection, there was a note scrawled along the front of that read, to my grandchildren. Shahaya.
何？結局何だったの？それ。
Shahaya came up to me and I silently held out the envelope to her. She immediately realized what it was and openly gasped.
またおじいさまからの手紙かしら。
This looks like it's the sort of thing that absolutely no one else could read. I gestured to the file in my hand so she could read the title.
お父様の。
Yeah, I'm really curious what's in this envelope. It would be great if it was just a letter to his grandchildren, but something told me it wouldn't get off that line likely. I could picture some horrendous things right up to the sort of contents that could be appealing to Shahaya. Regardless, even with a slight quiver to her hand, Shahaya took the envelope.
大丈夫。ありがとう。開けてみるね。
With a deep breath, Shahaya received its contents.
やっぱり手紙が入ってる。
Asusa's expression remained as stiff as she stood beside Shahaya and watched her open the letter.
私とあなた宛てになってるけど、読んでいい？任せる。
He shared a nod with Asusa, took another breath, then read the letter aloud.
忠康のことを野心的な男だとは感じていたが、自分に逆らえるほどでもないだろうと甘く見ていた。
Wait, is it her dad who wrote this? This was my grandfather's recollection. He had underestimated Hojo as father. Okay, yeah, now it's the grandfather who writes about her father. Okay. Thought it was the other way around at first, but...
結果、私はこうして報いを受けている。奴に足元をすくわれ、北条家を乗っ取られたって。
Jack gasped in confusion and briefly paused while reading the letter.
おじいさま、そんな風に思っていらしたの
The father and grandfather had been in an ongoing fight over the leadership of the Hojo family. In addition, her grandfather had lost. Is that why he was living at the home estate? Is that what had been going on? If it was then Kido's rant about her grandfather plotting something was... If it was, then Kido's rant about her grandfather's plotting something was.
とにかく、これは全部読んだ方がいいよね。
Shia didn't look particularly infused about the idea. Probably said that word wrong, but whatever.
知っておいた方がいいと思う。おじいさんの主観が入ってるとしても、多分本当のことだろうから。
Susan encouraged her sister to continue. Shaya meanwhile nodded with a pained look on her face.
そうね。まずは最後まで読んでみる。
Replying suggested she would receive judgment for another time. Or reserve judgment.
すべて私の失態だ。それは分かっている。分かってはいるが、このまま果てるには私もプライドが高すぎた。愚かな歪小な祖父だと失望させてしまうだろう。笑ってくれていい。所詮私も忠康と同じ人種だ。おじいさん。
Shaya occasionally faltered, and I could tell that Azusa was also shocked. I was sure that the only mental image either of them ever had was that he was a kind man who adored his grandchildren.
今となってはできることなど限られている。しかしそれでもこんなものしか残せなくても、孫二人がこの家で幸せに暮らしてくれたら嬉しい。私たちがここでそのために役立つことを祈ってここにこれを隠す。北条忠道。おじいさま。
I could see tears well in the corner of Shaya's lashes as she hung her head.
とんだ遺産でしたね。
Definitely is. They were supposed to be family, and I couldn't help but question why Shaya's grandfather had investigated Hojo's fraudulent activities. After I had heard what was in that letter, I understood it hadn't been out of a sense of moral righteousness or to protect each other. It was a weapon he prepared to enact. He had prepared to enact his revenge.
厄介なものを見つけてしまいましたね。
One could assume that was what Kido had been over or had been hoping for. Anyway, the exact item he'd wished for had been tucked away here. Knowing him, he would happily use this to oust Hojo's, but we talked this through once we had a chance to calm down Shaya. Until then, I'm sorry, but I don't want to let anyone else down here.
ええ、はい、大丈夫。すぐ落ち着くから。
Shaya wiped her tears away and made that brave assertion.
専門家に検証してもらう必要もあるでしょうけど。
Shaya walked up to the box, picked out and flipped through a random file and sighed.
おじいさまとチュンユーさんのおじいさま、双方のお墨付きだもの。内容は確かなものでしょうね。
The information contained inside was damning, even at a glance, and Shaya's expression instantly turned gloomy.
シゲトさんが裏で こそこそ動いてたことも随分時代錯誤な真似と感じたけど、
Saya mötte den claustrophobe with a solemn look on her face.
結局お父様も同じだったのね。
世代が違えば常識も違いますから。
Julie said that to comfort Chihaya.
うちのおじい様が言ってましたよ。若い世代には信じられないことでも上の世代や高い地位の人にとっては当たり前ということが世の中にはあると。
What seemed abnormal from our perspective would be filed away as not that bad, or young people are gutless from the old guard. They were also more likely to say things like, "It's a perk. What's wrong with making some money?"
不正に蓄財となれば今はネットで簡単に燃え上がるでしょうね。
I wonder if their grandfather may actually have supported that sort of public opinion and wanted to protect Shahaya and Azusa's positions, as well as this old manor. Based on what I had heard from Hinata, the grandfather was enraged by how Hodo was treating his daughter. If he were to hypothetically send this evidence to the police or to go public through the media, Hodo might lose his job. Unless you want that to happen, you had better accommodate my grandchildren. Was that actually what he meant when he said he prayed it would prove useful? If so, this is absolutely cruel. The fact that Grandfather Hojo hadn't done that himself, but had entrusted it to them as an inheritance meant Ingrid's granddaughters would have to blackmail or indict his son-in-law, their own father.
国でも何でも決めるのは千早とあずさです。
She was right, but it meant Chihaya had to make a decision.
どうしたらいいといつもみたいに純也に頼りたいところだけど。
Considering that Sai she let out, maybe she didn't want to push this decision onto me. Am I not reliable?
だって重人さんを相手にした時とはわけが違うもの。
Since it involved my brother Shaya, Shaya went out of their way to include me if I wanted to be. But to get involved this time just because my brother had tried to deliver a key that opened up his room would be a pretty weak reason. Huh? You won't be able to work up the resolve if it's against your own father, will you?
それはそうよ。お父様が何も悪いことをしていないとは思ってなかったけど。
this was as far as she could take it. I assumed I could understand her being at a loss with this huge of a pile of evidence stuck right in front of her. Yeah, it's evidence that her father actually did something wrong. And she herself is just manipulated or brainwashed to think or do something else. Are you going to pretend you didn't see this man? I deliberately voiced an awful opinion because I trusted that Shahaya would pick up on what I was trying to get at. We could put everything back the way we found it, leave and look up his room and pretend it never happened. If we were to do that.
おじいさんの苦労が全部無駄になる。
Azusa interrupted me before Shahaya got a chance. Sorry for my coughing. Dry throat.
あの人一人が得をするなんて納得できないんだけど。
Maybe the wind had been taken out of her sails because she sympathized with the position Shaya was in. I was sure she wanted to repay the gratitude she felt for the man who had taken care of her, but there was no telling what would happen to Shahaya if she were to go through with the addicting Hojo.
私のことなら気にしないで。ただ。
Shaya shifted her attention to the evidence of her father's fraudulent activities and sighed again.
これが公になれば困る人が大勢出ると思うの。ここに名前が載っている方だけじゃなくて、その下で何も知らずに働いている人やご家族にまで迷惑がかかる。
I see what you mean, but I guess if sometimes you may have to do some sacrifices in order to take down something that would cause much more suffering than the thing you would do. Which means, what I mean with that is, I think that if we were to go public and expose her father with all of this, sure, it might cause problem for his underlings or so as well, or other people that are innocent and has nothing to do with it. But I actually think that that would be a less damage to them than it would be if you just let him go. So both things are kind of wrong, but it's like the less of two evils. Either you give them just kick them, or he shoot them or something. We sure Shahaya was always worrying about the damage it would cause to the local economy. Azusa appeared blindsided by that response. Shuni, on the other hand, seemed to have anticipated it.
まあそうですね。代表が罪を認めても世間に叩かれ会社が潰れてしまうと。
仕事をなくす人もいるんだ。
Asusa made living so solely of her own earnings, and she couldn't act like it didn't concern her now that was made aware. What if you suddenly didn't have a job tomorrow? It would cause problems for anyone, wouldn't it? If that's going to be the end result, then maybe we should dispose of it.
ダメよ、それは。
What wonderful sisters. They didn't hesitate to band together to challenge me, effectively banning me from laying a hand on their grandfather's possessions. Yep.
純也も意地が悪いですね。本気で言ったわけではないのでしょ。
You're right. I wanted to see how you really felt about it, just in case.
私たちを試してるの。やっぱりそうよね。純也がそんな私の嫌がることばかり言うわけがないとは信じてたけど。
By the looks of things, Susan was now mad at me and Shia was visibly anxious. In all seriousness, you can't throw this away or pretend you never saw it. But it would also be difficult for you to use it in the way your grandfather intended. Does that cover it?
確かにそうだけど、正直どうすればいいのかわからない。
Susan was disappointed when all Shia could do was give a painful nod.
おじいさまの意志は尊重したいけどね。
Absolutely. She couldn't disregard him, but she would have to do something as cowardly as to blackmail Hojo if she were to use this.
もし高谷がこれを公表しようとしていたとかなら話は変わってくるけど。
But I wonder about that. It was true that he'd been entrusted with the key, but my brother was, if I had to say, just a courier in this scenario. Supposing their grandfather had entrusted my brother to handle these pieces of evidence as well, then it would have been pointless for him to only deliver the key to Azusa. He could have held onto the key and the evidence himself, but that wasn't what Takaya had done. He simply wanted to complete the job he was hired to do.
分かってると思う。高谷にはそもそもそういうドロドロしたの向いてない。
True. My brother had been cheerful and dignified, getting dragged into all this talk of corruption and fraud wouldn't have suited him in the slightest.
何かいい方法があればいいんだけど。
As Shahaya hung her head, I hesitated a little about whatever or not to tell her. I did think there was a way to deal with this, but Shahaya's consent and cooperation would be absolutely essential. I was liable to make her suffer. That was why I was unsure. Now would be the best time given that we had largely settled things.
純也には何か考えがありそうですね。
She noticed. Well, I had been leading the conversation in that direction for a while. It felt like she was gently chiding me for coming to a standstill at the very last second. Like she was telling me to put it all out there.
どうせろくでもない案なんでしょ。
Yeah, it sure is. Susan must have surmised as much from my behavior. After a single sigh, her expression shifted.
言うだけ言ってみて。気に入らなければ反対するだけだから。ただ、変な気遣いはいらないから。おじいさんのことは好きだけど、母も母なら父も父。そう分かった以上協力する。どんな真似でも。
Azusa.
父も父。
Shaya couldn't seem to hide her reaction at Azusa's merciless criticism of her father.
そうね。そう言われても仕方ないことはお父様はしているのよね。
Even so, Shaya was still feeling indecisive. It wasn't just a matter of her personality, but of conflict. No matter how irrational his orders may have been, this would still mean striking back at her father. It was definitely natural to be unsure. So I waited. I felt bad for Junior and Azusa as well as the group upstairs, but I had every intention of waiting until Shihaya spoke her mind. Then, eventually.
ねえ、純也。私に教えて。
At the end of a long silence, Shaya turned to me with a sincere look in her eyes.
これをどう使えば一番みんなのためになる？
I think this is a good place to end this video at, so hope you liked it, and if you did so, leave a like to it as usual, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!